Namaste everyone. Dr. Himanshu Patel, welcome you for this session on online learning management system. I thank Dr. Deepali Gandhi for inviting me for this session. Today, what we are going to learn is types of e-learning, learning management system, and finally, we will learn one learning management system which is free for the teacher, right? So let us start with what is e-learning and types of e-learning. We know that e-learning means teaching and learning with the help of computer and internet, but there are fundamentally two types of e-learning. One is called synchronous learning and another is called asynchronous learning. So what is synchronous learning is, synchronous means at the same time. It involves interaction of participant with an instructor via the web in real time. So whatever currently we are, I'm delivering lecture and you are watching, and if you are interacting with me, then it is called synchronous learning. For example, virtual class. If you start interacting with me in between session, then it is example of synchronous learning. Interaction through instance messaging, chat, audio and video conferencing, etc. And what's more, all the session can be recorded and playback. So this is what is called synchronous learning. Teacher and student both are present at the same time. જેને આપણે classroom learning પણ કહીએ છીએ ગુજરાતીમાં. આપણે ફેસ ટુ ફેસ લર્નિંગ, પ્રત્યક્ષ જે ભણાવીએ છીએ એને આપણે સિંક્રોનસ લર્નિંગ કહી શકીએ. Now what are the benefits of synchronous learning? Ability to log or track learning activities, continuous monitoring and correction is also possible. Then possibilities of global connectivity and collaboration opportunity among learners, and ability to personalize the training for each learner. જે આપણા ફેસ ટુ ફેસ લર્નિંગના એડવાન્ટેજ છે એ જ સિંક્રોનસ લર્નિંગના એડવાન્ટેજ છે. પણ ફરક માત્ર એટલો છે કે આપણે હવે ઓનલાઈન આ વસ્તુ કરી રહ્યા છીએ, જ્યારે આપણે સ્કૂલની અંદર વિદ્યાર્થીઓ સાથે પ્રત્યક્ષ વાતચીત કરીએ છીએ. Now second form of learning is more important, which is asynchronous learning. Now all higher education statutory bodies now recommends asynchronous learning. Even in school education it is also recommended asynchronous learning. Now asynchronous means not at the same time, means teacher and students are not present at the same time. So it allows the participant to learn at their own pace without live interaction with the instructor. We provided them with learning materials and student can learn with their own pace, and there is no restriction on time and place. They don't need to come to school for asynchronous learning. It is accessible on self-help basis 24/7. They can take their own time for learning. They can relearn and then again move forward if they found that content is grasped. Interaction among participants through message board, bulletin board and discussion forum. So in asynchronous learning, we should provide 4 quadrant to teachers. It is called 4 quadrant approach. Now 4 quadrant approach is, you have to provide them with text, which is your textbook. Second, you have to provide them with video that you can record using any free video software. Then you have to provide discussion forum so that student can interact with you, right? And 4th quadrant is self-assessment or assessment, so that student, you as a teacher, you will also understand whether student understand particular topic or not. So we can have 4 quadrant approach in asynchronous learning. Now what are the advantage of asynchronous learning? First of all, it is just in time for instance learning and reference. Then there is a flexibility of access from anywhere at any time. Then ability to simultaneously reach an unlimited number of learners. You might heard of MOOC platforms, right? So MOOC is a front end for students, but for teacher, you have to use some learning management system that we are going to discuss today. And ability to and uniformity of content and one-time cost of production. You can record your video from eminent speakers and then you can put it in your learning management system for students, right? So these are the advantages. Now, what is LMS? Today, our focus is on learning management system. So learning management system provides facility for both kind of learning. Majority, it is for asynchronous learning, but it also provides features for the provision of synchronous learning. So basically, LMS is a global term for a computer system specifically developed for managing online courses, distributing courses material, and allowing collaboration between learner and teachers. So LMS serves the purpose of creating online course. LMS will allow you to manage every aspect of course, from the registration of learner to storing of test result, as well as allowing you to accept assignment digitally and keep in touch with your learners. So you start course, then you upload the content in using 4-quadrant approach, then you register student, then you provide assignment and quizzes, and then student submit those assignment and quizzes and you can grade them. So all these facilities is provided by learning management system. In essence, the LMS is the backbone of most e-learning activity. Most learning management system contains standard set of tools that are used to facilitate learning. First of all, it facilitates learning and discussion in an online environment. Then, some tools such as threaded discussion forum are used to foster communication and collaborative learning. Student can ask question or give their comment or feedback using discussion forum, and other students, that means peer group, and teacher can also reply to those comments and questions and feedback. Now, other tools such as assessment and online grade books are used to increase teacher productivity and track learner performance, while ensuring that the course is meeting curricular objectives. So these are all about learning management system. Now, what are the desirable features of learning management system? First of all, it should be very easy to use. That means it should have easy graphic user interface. Then there is a provision for customization. It should be designed such that it should allow you to customize online courses as per your requirement. Then there is a facility for enrolling student. That means you can invite student online and student can enroll in your course. Then there should be provision for synchronous learning using virtual classroom. Then there is a various means of communication should be available, like bulletin board, discussion forum, mail, SMS, etc. And there should be ability to track student progress. Otherwise, you cannot know how many students has completed particular chapter or topic or finished particular week content. Then there should requirement of various kinds of reports for teachers. So these are the desirable features of LMS. Now, what are the benefits? First, it provides various means of communication. Then there is accessibility regardless of their location. Then there is no constraint on time. There is a self-directing learning. Then there is a multiple learning mode, as I discussed: text, videos, quiz, assignment, discussion forum. Then there is a facility for collaboration, and there is a support, a community of learner working together to build knowledge. So all these are the benefits of LMS. Now, how many types of LMS? So these are the types of LMS. First is installed LMS software. which you can access from intranet or within the premises of school or college or university. Then there is a web-based LMS that you can use without constraint of any location or time. Then there is a commercial LMS which is used to provide training to corporates and others. And finally, we are interested in fourth category, which is free and open source LMS. There are number of LMS available in market. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. But today we are going to discuss one learning management system which is free for teacher, right? You have to just create account and it will allow you to create course online, and all these features that we have discussed are available in that LMS. So these are the categories of LMS. Now, as a teacher, you might confuse that which LMS should be chosen by me. So there are various criteria for choosing LMS as an individual or as an organization. And what is your purpose? How much budget you have? Then what kind of tools you want to use? Then what kind of assessment you require? What kind of communication facilities you have required? Or what kind of design you require? What are the accessibility options? And whether you require technical support or you have in-house staff for handling technical problems. So you have to majorly consider all these criteria for choosing learning management system, right? Now on screen you can see the list of some popular learning management systems. Blackboard, Desire to Learn, Edmodo, Google Sites, Neo, RCampus, Schoology, Moodle, Camilo, OpenEdX, Totara Learn, and finally last is Canvas. So the LMS which is shown in a blue color is a paid version LMS. You have to pay something to use that learning management system. But whatever you see in a red color is either free for teachers for certain period of time with certain restriction. So you can try out any of these LMS, but I found these last Canvas learning management system very suitable for teachers. It is very easy to use, that we going to learn in a short while, but Canvas is a best, I think, in my opinion, for used by the teachers. So here you can see the home page of each and every learning management system. I also narrated in brief the features provided by LMS that you can try out. So first is Blackboard, second is Desire to Learn. If you follow mouse pointer, you can see here is the home page of this LMS, and below is the features provided by learning management system. Then third is Edmodo. It is again free online platform. Then Google Sites, that you can also try for online learning. Then there is a Moodle. Moodle is also a good site, but it offers you free account for 2 months only. So that is why there is a restriction. Then there is a Neo LMS. Then RCampus. Then Schoology, Camilo. It is open source, means it is freely available to you. Then there is a OpenEdX. You might heard edX platform for MOOCs. So this is an open version of edX. So it is called OpenEdX. Then there is a Totara learning platform which is open source. And finally, we are going to learn these LMS which is called Canvas. So it is an open source LMS that is free for instructor or teachers. It is completely free, and generally they does not put any time restriction on use of these LMS. It makes teaching and learning easier in terms of implementation, adoption, customer support, and success. It is adaptable, reliable, and customizable. Its interface and features are crafted to save you time and efforts, resulting in getting adopted faster and deeper than many other learning management systems. So today we will learn how to create online course on Canvas learning management system, right? So let us start with how to create, how to use Canvas learning management system. So the first step to seeing result is creating a course. So what are the steps for creating your first course? First, you have to complete your registration. Then you have to open Instructure or Canvas notification sent via email and follow the prompt, and then you can use the course template to create your course, and then you have to publish your course. Publishing means you made available while creating course, you put course as a draft version. Once your course content is ready, then you can publish those content so that student can see the content, and only student get notification only after you publish the course, right? So it is important steps. Then once your course is published, you can add your students or invite your students to join the course. Now first you have to create your account. Now how to do that, we will learn by demonstration. Here on screen you can see I have opened two browsers, right? So one browser is Microsoft Edge and another browser is Google Chrome, right? So how to create account, first we will learn that. So here you have to open this URL instructure.com/canvas/trycanvas free-account. When you open this page, you have to fill your details. So once you fill your detail, then you have to press next. Once you press next, you will be asked to agree with terms and condition, and then you have to set your password. And once your password is set, you have to go to your email. In email you have get one link, right? So here you found, click here to finish the registration process. So I have already finished the registration process. So what I can do is I can start login in my account. So how to do that? This is your login page, canvas.instructure.com/login/canvas, and this is email ID that I have provided during registration, where I get confirmation email, and then I have to provide password which is set during account creation, and then I have to press login. So whatever right now you are seeing is the teacher part. There are two login, right? One is for student. Student will see your course which is created by you. So this login is for teacher. Now student can only log in when you invite them. Student cannot directly create their login. You have to invite them after your course is published. So this is the home page of your teacher account. Here you can see I have published one course, certificate in computer concept, right? So student can enroll in this. Now here I have student login. Because I have invite this student for that published course, so he can see my course. So remember, this is not teacher login, but this is student login, and here we can see the teacher dashboard, and here is in Edge we can see the student dashboard, right? So assume that you have created course, published course, and you invite student. Now as a student, how do I see the course? So when I log in as a student, I can see my dashboard where I can see my course. So by clicking on this, I will be redirected to the home page. So here you can see my home page. So suppose I am clicking on this. This is a web page. So this is welcome page. So here I put welcome message for student. Now student can advance by clicking on next. So here first I put learning object. Now what are the learning objectives for this particular chapter? Then after reading learning objective, student can move further to my chapter text. So here you can see I have uploaded one PDF file which is my text. Now remember, you have to only upload content either created by you or available as a open educational resources. You cannot upload any content on these platform. Now student has got learning objective, then they read text, and then they can watch video. So here I have put one sample video that can understand. Then I again put another video for explaining the content, and then student can see the discussion forum. I have already created this discussion forum, and student can ask me question and I can answer to the student. So there are 2 questions asked by student and I have answered both. And there is a notification between teacher and student that teacher has uploaded assignment, teacher has created quiz, your quiz is graded, and all that kind of notifications are there. And then finally, once your chapter is finished, you have to provide them with assignment. So here I have assignment with 30 marks, and you can upload this text as an assignment, and student can submit this assignment, right? And you will notify. And you can also configure quiz like this. So here I have created quiz with 20 marks. There are 16 questions, time limit is 20, and I allowed student to attempt unlimited times. You can always restrict, but I put unlimited so that I can demonstrate. So here you can see that student have taken 3 attempts, and in 3rd attempt he got 19 out of 20. And I configure like that I should consider highest marks. So it considered 90 out of 20 as the final marks. And now what is quiz? So here you can see that this is multiple choice type question. So I have put 5 multiple choice type questions. I can show all question at a time or one by one. Here you can see quiz instruction. Then I can have question like blanks, and you can have answer in any language. For example, student can type in Gujarati, English or Hindi, but you can configure that you can accept answer in any language. Then I have 5 blanks, and then there is a true false type of question. There are 15 questions, 5 questions of type true false. So here you can see that student can select either true or false, and we can have match the pair type question also. So here is a match the pair type question, and first part is fixed, second they have to select. So these kind of quiz can be created using these LMS. Now this is called a 4 quadrant approach. We have put text, we have put videos, I have put discussion forum, and I have also put quiz and assignments, right? So now these student part is over. Now we would like to understand teacher part, which is most important for us. So here, how to create a new course. So here you can see a start new course. So I just clicking on that. Here I can give my name. I can give any name to course. Then there is a course code. So I have given short name. Then by default content is copyrighted. You can put them in public domain, or you can have open Creative Commons license. That means you are allowing others to share your content with attribution. So here I am keeping default or private. Then I am creating course. So it will create one course for me. Now here you can see this page is open. Now this is called module. Now module is something like in online learning management, either we put content week wise or topic wise or chapter wise, right? So module is nothing but it refers to a week content or chapter content or particular topic content, right? So initially you will be shown these three. So I want to create new content. For example, I want to create my first chapter, which is Introduction to Computer. So I am just writing Introduction to Computer and then add module, right? So this is my chapter or week. Then I have to put either text, video, assignment, quiz, discussion forum. So here you have to click on this plus button and it will ask you what kind of content you want to add. Assignment, quiz, file may be PDF file, then HTML page, discussion forum, text header, external URL or external tool. So I wanted to add text. So I am clicking on file and then I have to click on new file and then I have to choose. So here I can open PDF file and then I will add item. So I'm going to my dashboard and opening this and explain to you. So here I have created Introduction to Computer, which is my module as I have discussed earlier. And here is the chapter 1. Now when I click on this, it will open that file. Here you can see I want to add page. Then you have to click on this. Then you have to select page and I have selected new page and I have to give some name. For example, page 1 and then I have to click on add item. So here you can see my page is created. Now this is HTML page and when I click on this, I can edit the content of that page. Now here I can put any text. I want to put syllabus. I can copy that and then I can place here and save. So you can see that this page is created. So you can create quickly and all formatting is preserved. You can see here all formatting of page is preserved. So you can create HTML page like this as a content. Then again we go back to course and suppose I want to create assignment. So I can select assignment, new assignment. My assignment name already I have created one. So I give name 2. Then I have to add item. And here you can see my new assignment is created. And here by clicking on it and add it, I can give assignment details, right? So here I have to provide assignment details. So I have already stored assignment here. So here I am copying this and just pasting my assignment in this, and then you have to give number of marks. So I want to give 30 marks for this. I can put this assignment in assignment. Now you want to display grade as a point, complete, incomplete, letter grade, GPA scale, or anything else. So I use point. Now submission type is either online, on paper, or using external tool. So I am selecting online. So it will ask me whether it is a text entry, website URL, or file upload. So you can select text entry so that user can directly type their answer in this. So these are the certain options that you can easily understand. Now here you can specify due date. For example, I want to give 15 days. So I can select 13 June. And from what date it is available, it is shown here. And then you can save. So this is how you can quickly create assignment. Right now I am not saving it. Now how to create quiz? So again I am going to my home page and then add, and here I have to select quiz. So new quiz. Now my quiz number 2 and add item. So you can see my quiz is created. I have to click on this and then add it. And here you can provide general instruction to quiz. So I have already store quiz here. So suppose I want to provide these multiple choice question. So here you can type quiz instruction whatever you want to give. Then quiz is graded quiz. Then you have to put inside assignment. What is time limit? 10 minutes. Then if you want to shuffle answer, you can select this. Then if you want to permit allow multiple attempts, you can do that. And what is the score to keep highest, latest, or average of all attempts. Then how many attempts you want to add allowed. Then how student can see their quiz response. Then you can select these if you want to show one question at a time. Now I want to add questions. Here I am saving this. Now I want to publish this. So I am clicking on this. So it is published now. Now I can again edit, and here you can add questions. So here if you press new question, you can have many options available like multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blanks, fill in multiple blanks, multiple answer, multiple drop down. So you can try out these. I am just giving you one example, multiple choice. So how to create multiple choice? So first you have to type question and then you have to provide correct answer. So here is like all of these. And what are other possible answers that you have to provide? So you can provide as many as option you want. So first, second, third, and now I am giving fourth. So my question is created. Here I have to press update question. So one question is created with multiple choice. Now I want to add one more question of true false type. Then I have to select true false, and here I have to type question. And here I have to select either true or false. If I want to say this is false, then I have to click on this. By mistake I have taken blanks. So this is a true false type question. So I am putting this. This is false. So I am clicking on this and update question. So this is how you can create different type of question. It is self-explanatory, so you can try it. So this is how you can create module let me go to home. So here I have added page 1, assignment 2 and quiz 2. Now how student will see this? When I clicking on this publish, student can see these 3 new things added on their module. Now here is my home page. Now you can see there are 3 things are added in student account. I am clicking on this, so I can see my syllabus, which is put inside HTML page, and then I can see this assignment. Since there is no due date, it is not shown here. So again I have to go in teacher account, select on assignment, and then edit. There are certain setting here. Here is a 0.0, so I have to provide 30 points, and here I have to paste my assignment, right? So it is not saved right earlier, so I'm just putting copy and paste, and then we have to save. Now it is saved and published. Here I can reload assignment, and now student can see this assignment. So this is how you can put content either chapter wise or week wise or topic wise, and student can immediately see the content when you publish the topic. So here is a how you can create course, right? And then modules. Now suppose I want to add new chapter, then I have to just press module, and then I have to give module name. And then you have to press add module, and here you can see. Now again you can add assignment, quiz, file, page, etc. Now once your course is ready, you have to invite student. So this is how you can create course and set your content. Now I want to add video. So how to do that? So what I can do is I can plus and then external URL. So here I am copying some video URL which is available on YouTube, created by me, and here I can give name video 3, and then I just add item. So here you can see that video is immediately added, but it will be fetched from YouTube. So you can see how to add video. Video should be somewhere placed on platform like YouTube, and then you can fetch that video here. So this is how we can create different types of content, right? Now I want to invite student for these. So I have to go to people, and then I can invite and then add user by email address. Then you have to type email address. If you have multiple email address, you can separate it by comma or in new line, and then you have to press next. So here I am adding user. So it shows pending because email is sent to student, and student have to accept the invitation. So I am signing into that account. So here you can see my course invitation. Course invitation is sent to me. Then I have to click on get started. And when I click on accept, it will register, and then he can log in using that user ID and whatever password is set. Here I am not accepting because I have already logged in using some other account, so it will create problem. So I am just declining, but this is how you can add users. So this is a instructor account. You can see my profile image here. So this is how you can invite student and enroll in your subject. Now how to see student grade? If you go to home dashboard, here you can see view grade. So that student has already appear for assignment and quiz. So here you can see one student has submitted assignment and I have given him 21 marks, and quiz is automatically graded and he secures 19. That we have already seen in student account. So his total is 80%. So these kind of grade you can provide to student, right? So this is how you can grade student. Now how to set this image? So what you can do is you can click on this and go to settings, and from here you can set image for your course which is shown here, and you can give name of course, course code, which is again provided while creating course. Here you can select a time zone, and there are certain settings that you can easily understand. So this is how we can create and configure course. Now suppose I want to show how to submit assignment by student. So here I am in student account and I want to submit this assignment, right? So here might be some setting that doesn't allow student to submit. So I have to go to assignment 2 and edit. So here edit, and then here we have to use some submission type, otherwise student cannot submit. So I am selecting submission type online and then text entry, right? So then I am clicking on save. Now student can submit online as a text. So again I am going to student account and refreshing this. Now I will get this submit assignment, right? So by clicking on this, I can write my answer here, and then I have submit assignment as a student. Now this is a celebration image which is pop up when students submit assignments, right? Now again I am going to my teacher account and go to dashboard. Okay, here is a grade assignment 2. This is the link. This is link for assignment 2, right? This is a notification regarding submission of assignment by student. So I am clicking on this, and here I can see the answer submitted by student, and according to that I have to given marks. For example, student got 15 marks out of this, and I can provide feedback to student. Try to think critically and then explain, for example. So these feedback will be given to student also, and his marks is considered as a 15, right? So now I am going back again to student account, and in dashboard he can see recent feedback. Try to think critically and then explain, and he got 15 out of 30. So he is again notified. So this kind of interaction is continuously between student and teacher, right? So this is how you can create your course, publish your content, invite your student. The student can submit their questions and quiz, and then you can also evaluate. So I should now conclude due to time restriction. So I'm concluding my session with this. You can try this yourself, and if you have any question, you can ask me question on my email address, that is himanshu.patel@baou.edu.in, and I would be happy to help you in creating new course and creating online content. Happy online learning. With this, I conclude my session. You can try out all these yourself. Thank you and happy learning.